before we got started here with the podcast, we were talking a little bit about what we do with people when they can't get to us more than once a week, or what we're doing as a home program is what we termed it. I mean, can you give me a little bit of an opportunity to learn what you're doing with your home programs?
Absolutely. Quite frankly, our whole process from the corrective exercise side of things that we do is dependent upon a home program and the compliance of the client, and they know that when they come in. It's interesting that we have all kind of fun stuff here that we use in our studio for our more traditional fitness stuff and for our small group training, but when it comes to our corrective exercise, we really use very few tools and props because everything that we do with our client here, we expect them to be able to reproduce on their own at home. That is very different than what a lot of folks do, and I'm going to make the comparison to physical therapy, even though I'm not a physical therapist, but I do see that general type of population is that they do a lot of stuff in clinic with the person, hands-on, use some of the different modalities and tools that they have available, and then they send the client home with some very, very generic exercises, which to me doesn't make any sense. They'll go to the drawer and pull out the ACL exercises, and here you get the ACL exercises as same ones that the last 300 people with ACLs had that came through here, regardless of how you move, regardless of what your size is, regardless of what your motivation is, etc. So when a client comes in here, the exercises I actually do with them in my facility are the exercises they're going to do at home. And therefore, everything that we do here, we work through it, we make sure their execution's there, we audit our intervention as we're going through it, so by the time I'm done with my session, the client and myself or my team is happy with what they have to do. It hasn't provoked their symptoms. They've shown improvement in the quality of their motion. They're happy. Ideally, they feel better. Then what we're going to do is we're going to plug that into the computer. We're going to print out for them with pictures and explanations that here's what we did and here's what you're going to do on your own for the next 7 days. You're going to come back in. You're going to go through a mini appointment with us where we check your execution, try to minimize the attrition with the way that you're doing it at home, and then you go back home and you continue it again for another 2 weeks before we reassess you. By doing that and being very clear and open with the client of what our expectations are of them, they know that in order to achieve the goals that they want to achieve with us, that's part of the process, and they're willing to do that as they go through the process. But you have to make it home workable for them. It has to be something that is specific to their needs. It can't be something that makes them feel lousy when they do it. It can't be something that's a huge burden to them, because it's better that they do a lot of a little, meaning they do something every day, than overload them with things that they can only do 3 days a week if we're looking at making changes in their motor system and the way that their body moves over time. So the home program is absolutely critical, and it's got to be specific and strategic to that person. And it's not a handout that we just pull out of the drawer and say, here, do a couple of these while you're at home every chance you get, or every 3 hours get up from your desk and do this. It's something that is very specific to that person, that they're going to take their chunk of 20 to 30 minutes a day, set it aside, and do this and do it well because they're motivated to get the results.